When you're searching for information to inform your written or practical work, you need to be aware that not everything you find will be good quality or fit for purpose. This applies to print as well as online information. It's important that you think critically about the information you find and carefully consider what is relevant and appropriate. This short video has some tips on what to look for and consider when evaluating the various types of information. Authority is about identifying the author of a piece of information, as this can sometimes be a key indicator of trustworthiness and reliability. Questions to ask yourself include: who is the author? Are they an expert in their field? Have they produced work on the subject before? Has their work been cited by others? For online information, the web address can be a big clue as to what kind of organisation has produced the information. If a web address ends in .com or .co.uk, this information has usually been produced by a commercial organisation. If a web address ends in .org, this is usually information produced by a non-profit organisation. If a web address ends in .ac or .edu, the information has usually been produced by an academic or educational establishment. And if a web address ends in .gov, this is information that's been produced by a governmental organisation. Not all information represents a balanced view. Some information, even if it has been written by a well-respected individual, may have been produced on behalf of a particular organisation and could be biased towards their point of view on a particular topic. Questions to ask yourself when thinking about the objectivity of a piece of information include: why has the information been produced? Is it to inform, persuade, to sell, or entertain? Has the work been sponsored by a particular organisation? Is there any evidence of bias, hidden or otherwise? The date when a piece of information was produced can be an indicator of quality. Be aware, though, that information produced years ago should not necessarily be ruled out. It all depends on what you need it for. For example, a newspaper needs to be current if you're looking for the latest news, but an older edition is fine if you're researching how an event was reported at the time. When evaluating the timeliness of a source of information, look for a clear indication of when it was produced. Think about the date and whether it meets with your requirements. Has the information been superseded? This is particularly relevant when looking at legal information such as Acts of Parliament. You should also think about the evidence the author has provided that demonstrates their work is based on their own research and facts and hasn't simply been made up. Look for references to other sources of information in the form of a bibliography or links to other sites if it is an online source. Does the information include results from research such as data or diagrams? Even if you find a good quality piece of information, written by a well-respected author, backed up by references and research, that does not necessarily mean that the information is relevant to your project or task. You need to think about the level. Is the information too basic or too advanced? Does the information relate to a location that you're interested in? Is it concerned with an entirely different aspect of your topic? Not all of the 5 attributes we have looked at will apply to each and every information source you evaluate, but they can help you decide whether or not to use a particular piece of information. Good luck with your research.